back to my channel. My name is Martha. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this special day as we're going to be talking about a special announcement about my 10K celebration. Plus, I thought let's hang out and I'll share a little bit of some story time stories so that we can just hang out and spend an awesome Friday together. So keep on watching this video. So for today's video, I have a couple of stories. I hope they're not boring. I think they're funny, and hopefully you guys can, have a nice laugh, take a small break from whatever's going on in your life, and enjoy these couple of stories. So the first one happened when I was like a preteen, around 11 or 12 years old, and this actually happened at my church growing up. So it was Mother's Day. I remember because we had done like a special presentation, the kids' Sunday school. Us teens, being cool, went outside to just hang out. I know, my rebel days. But yeah, and so we were all just hanging out outside and we were playing tag. So then we get to the interesting part. My good friend, till this very day, he's my good friend, and I were both playing tag, right? Well, during that time, he had a crush on me, and I had a crush on him, and everybody knew this. And it was one of those crushes that happens at church when you're a kid. And we're playing tag. He's it. And I'm like running, and I'm one of the last few to be running, to be tagged. We had our home base, which we had like these big stage extension things that weren't being used for church, so they just had them outside stacked up, so it was pretty high up, and we had that as our home base, right? So if you got to that, then the person tagging you couldn't tag you because you were safe. So anyways, we're playing tag, and he's it, and I'm one of the last few that is still running, and I haven't made it to the home base yet, and I'm making a dash for it, right? And as I'm running, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump and just land on this home base, and he won't be able to tag me. And so I'm running, and I make the jump, and as I'm landing onto the home base, he smacks my butt. When you're that age, it is like this huge big deal, right? And so everybody was like, oh my gosh. And on top of that, everyone knew about the crush and everything. So it was so all of the kids were like laughing or like shocked and like didn't know what to do. I'm like on the stage like, what just happened? And he is like frozen, like literally is so shook for a second. And then he looks at his hand, and everyone is staring at him, and doesn't say a word, just makes a run for the door to go back inside. And I'm like, what the heck? And he's my friend, And I follow him, and then all of the kids follow us. And I'm like, where are you going? And he's like running to the restroom, and he just starts washing his hands. And then at that point I lost it. I'm like, why are you washing your hands? I was like, why are you washing your hands? There was nothing on my butt, it's not dirty, and it was an accident. And I was like, dude, it's totally cool, don't worry, we'll eventually laugh at this. He was horrified, and so embarrassed. I was embarrassed too, but it was one of the funniest things that has ever happened, and we were still really good friends, and we look back at that, and we just die of laughter because can't believe that happened. And just the fact that he looked at his hand and needed to wash it immediately after smacking my butt. I made it home. I was safe. That's all that mattered. So the next story I want to share is one that happened when I was in high school. So you know in the beginning of the school year when you're in a class and you're in like the wrong class, but you have to wait till your counselors like fix it and stuff like that. So they had put me into, what was it even called? Movie production, TV production, something like that. And I wasn't supposed to be in that. I wanted to be in a different class, a different elective, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I had put in the request and they were going to handle it, but I still had to go to this class until they transferred me out of it. So me knowing this, you know, in the beginning of the class, the teacher's always like, oh, like, you're gonna buddy up and like talk about who you are and stuff like that. So I did, and this is a class that's like mixed of like juniors and seniors, and my partner was a senior, and he had just moved and he was new to our school, and that was like his first day. So I was like in the mood for some reason to just mess around and have fun. This is not a good example of who I am, but I decided to just mess around that day because I knew I wasn't going to be in that class and I was probably never going to see this kid ever again, even though I went to the same high school. I don't know why this idea popped into my head, but it did. We had to like ask each other questions about who we were and interests, you know, what happens on the first day of school. And he asked me, oh, like, where are you from? And so just a little bit of backstory. My aunt is from New York, and she had just gone to New York to visit, and she had come back and she had told us all about her trip. I can't remember exactly where she is from in Brooklyn, like the neighborhood that she's from. But we'll just call it B-Town for the sake of this video and this story. So back to the story. So the kid is like asking me questions and he's like, oh, so where are you from? And I'm like, I'm just gonna have some fun with this. I'm not gonna see this guy ever again, so I'm gonna lie. And it was just to have fun. I do not support lying, but here I am telling you guys on my Christian lifestyle channel. You know, forgive me, Lord. I learned my lesson not to lie that day. Trust me. So he asked me, where are you from? And I tell him, I'm from New York. And he's like, no way. Like, I just moved down here from New York. What part of New York are you from? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like Brooklyn? And then he's like, oh my gosh, I'm from Brooklyn. What neighborhood are you from? And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So then I just remembered in that second where my aunt was from. And so I tell him, I'm like, B-Town, right? And he's like, no way, like, I'm from B-Town, like, what? Like, and he starts telling me all of these things about B-Town, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. How in the world is this kid from the same exact place that my aunt is from and I'm apparently from? And I am so embarrassed, and he's telling me all of these things like, oh, what about this pizzeria? What about this? Like, what school did you go to? And I am like, why did I lie? Why did I do this? Why did I decide to mess around today? And I'm like, you know what, I don't even remember what I did, but I quickly changed the subject because I am not from New York, clearly, and I've never even been, and I have no idea anything about New York. So yeah, that day I learned that when you're bored and want to mess around, just don't lie. Just don't. I don't know why I did that day. I just wanted to have fun because I was so bored, and I was not supposed to be in that class, and I was so bored out of my mind. But that day I learned not to lie ever again. And yeah. So the next story happened when I was 18. My family threw me a surprise 18th birthday party, and all of my closest friends were invited. it was like my last birthday in high school or whatever, so I had a lot of close friends, both from school and out of school at that time, and it was a very special birthday for me. It's my 18th birthday. It was this huge thing, blah blah blah. And so near the end of the party, I decided that I wanted to, you know, say thanks to everyone who came and for my family for throwing me a party. And as I'm doing that, I start to individually thank people, like my sister, like my mom, like my dad, and then like my best friends. And then I started to go down the line, and there was probably around like 30 plus people here, and I felt weird saying thank you and like honoring my friends and family, like only a few of them, and I felt awkward, like I needed to say thank you and honor everybody else that was there too. And I did. I legit went through each and every person that was there that night, thanking them for being my friend. If I had special memories, I would share it. I shared a story about everybody there, and literally for about maybe 30 plus minutes to an hour. And after I finished, everybody was like falling asleep, like, what the heck, Martha? You just gave the longest speech ever. And looking back at it, it's so funny because I just felt so awkward saying thank you to some people and to some of my friends, and I felt like I had to say thank you to everybody who was there. And thank God that they all had patience with me because, yeah. And we look back at it now and everyone's like, you're like, we can't believe you did that. Like, you made us sit through like this long speech about each and every one of your friends. It was TMI. But yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, I said what was in my heart, and if I were to die tomorrow, like, I know that I've expressed my love and gratitude to each and every one of my friends, so I can die peacefully, you know? But yeah, it's just so funny looking back at why I did that. I don't know. It was so weird. But yeah, so funny. Next time I have a birthday party and want to give a speech, it's going to be very general. So that concludes the story time for today. I hope the stories were a little bit entertaining. Maybe you laughed, maybe you didn't, maybe they were boring. I don't know. Some weird things happened to me. I do weird things, and yeah. So now for my little 10K celebration, I'm calling it. We are so close to hitting 10K, and I'm so excited for it. Literally, I know everybody says this, but I really never anticipated for anybody or anyone to like subscribe to me, let alone 10K, which sounds crazy. I'm so excited to celebrate this milestone, and I have created a giveaway that I'm super excited about, and I'm not announcing it yet because I want you guys to be excited about this as well, and I need your help. I've come up with a very awesome prize, and I think it's perfect, but I feel like it's missing something, and that is why I need your help. I want you guys to suggest to me what would be a very awesome, unique, cool thing that we could do to celebrate 10K as part of my giveaway. Whatever. But I want it to be like very unique, very different, not just a gift card, not just like a prize, not just anything that you can get like in any channel that does giveaways. I want this to be very unique, special, fun, crafted, created for you guys, my subscribers, who I love and appreciate so much. So, if you're watching this, if you made it this far, please tell me, what are your ideas? What would you like to win? I want to hear your guys' feedback. I'd appreciate it so much. And I'm very excited, and I'll be announcing the giveaway details and all of that information later on, once I feel like it's perfect for you guys, because right now, like, we're almost there, but I need your help to make it perfect. So I'd appreciate if you leave a comment down below, firstly telling me what would be a cool giveaway prize, and secondly telling me what was your favorite story that I just shared. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm so excited for this 10K celebration. I want it to be awesome, fun, exciting for all of us to celebrate, and I look forward to seeing you guys again with an all new video very soon. Bye!